let's get started at the top of our mat, standing nice and tall, feeling energy going through our heels into the ground and like there's a string pulling our head towards the ceiling. We're going to start by tipping our head to look at the floor and start rolling down through each vertebra, softening the knees and feeling the articulation of the spine. Inhale at the bottom and exhale, rolling all the way back up. Keeping softness in your knees, really focusing on waking up the spine. Just do that one more time. Nod the head, making sure the palms are facing towards each other so that the collarbones can be nice and wide. Breathing into the spine, relaxing the head. Inhale at the bottom and exhale all the way back up. Inhale at the top and exhale, rolling through each vertebra of the spine, scooping up your stomach towards your belly button into your spine. Inhaling at the bottom and exhaling all the way back up to the top. I'm just going to get those shoulders moving. I want you to put your hands on your shoulders with your arms out like this. We're going to start making circles, circling towards the front. Standing nice and tall while we circle our arms. And then we'll reverse the circles. Really feeling the opening in the upper body, warming up. And then we're going to come to this side of the mat. We're going to stick one leg behind the other. And I want you to try and sit down without using your hands. And then you can use your hands. Put your legs straight in front of you, squeezing together, sitting nice and tall. And we're going to roll down through the spine. Just a transition to go to the floor. And once you're at the bottom, press your arms into the mat. Bend one foot in so it's flat on the floor, and then the other. And just look down and make sure that your heels are in line with your hip bones. And relax your head back on the floor. So the first thing I want you to notice in this position is the space between your spine and the floor. I want you to get rid of that by curling your tail up towards your nose, and then release that curl back to a neutral spine. Curl your tail towards you, and release your neutral spine. Keeping energy through the feet so that your legs maintain engagement. And this next time, we'll get rid of that space and you curl so much that your hips have to lift off the ground. Inhale at the top and exhale back down to your neutral spine. Inhale at the bottom and exhale as you start to curl all the way up, making sure your neck is relaxed and your feet are actively pushing into the ground the entire time. And tip your pelvis, lift that scoop up towards the ceiling. Big inhale at the top and exhale all the way back down. And feeling that both sides of your spine are touching, of your back, are touching the mat evenly throughout. Once you're back at the bottom in your neutral spine, I want you to take your arms out to your T. Take one leg to tabletop and then the other. And this time I want your legs glued together. And before we go anywhere in this position, I want you to think
of engaging your abdominals without losing the space between your spine and the ground. And I want you just to notice what parts of your body are touching the ground in this position. And as we start to take our legs over to one side, really try and think of the opposite shoulder pressing into the ground the entire time. So on that inhale, our shoulders keep the same feeling on the floor, and they do the same thing on the exhale. So they don't do anything. Inhale over, feeling the twist in your lower spine. And really feeling like your abdominals are doing all of the work here. Twist over. Trying to keep the hips nice and square. Make this your last set. You to lower one foot back down and the other foot back down. Interlace your fingers, place your hands behind your head, and make sure that you can see your elbows in your peripheral vision. I want you to take an inhale, and on the exhale, come into a chest lift. Inhale here, and exhale, back down. Inhale, on your exhale, lift up, pressing your head into your hands so that there's no tension in your neck. Your head is heavy, and it only comes up because it's attached to your spine and because your hands keep it in alignment. Coming up and back down. Feeling as if you can almost tell where each vertebra is articulating, possibly even feeling a stretch in the upper back. One more like this, all the way up. And back down. We're going to add rotation from the next one. So come up into your chest lift. I want you to think of just looking to the outside of your right knee. And back to center. And the outside of your left knee. And back to center. And try and keep even weight on your hips throughout this exercise, so that the only thing that's shifting is your abs, upper body, rotating around your spine. Keep relaxing your head into your hands. One more in each direction. Come back to the center before you release back down. Now I want you to take your hands out from behind your head, lift one leg to tabletop, and then the other. Make sure that there's room behind you, so I need to come this way a bit. Back down, one leg to tabletop, and the other. Hands on top of the knees, and come into a chest lift. Now from here, I actually want you to take your hands behind your legs. I want you to push your legs into your hands and your hands into your legs. And that's gonna help you get a higher chest lift. And from there, I want you to maintain that height as you put your hands back on top of your knees. Now we're gonna reach out your arms and your legs at the same time and circle back around. And reach out and circle back around. Keeping your abdominals engaged the entire time. Reaching out and coming back in. Two more. And back in. And last one. And back in. Now try and keep your chest lift. If you need to, you can relax for a second. I want you to take both hands onto your right knee and extend your left leg. Try and pull up into your highest chest lift before you start to switch your legs, keeping the height, relaxing your neck so that your head maintains the same line with your spine. Then I want you to keep moving your legs as you take your hands behind your head and then rotate opposite elbow towards opposite knee. And keep feeling length through the leg that's extending. Even that out. Bring your legs back in, hug them out. Feet down and stretch all the way back out. Take a couple of inhales and exhales here. And circle your arms down towards your side. Have your legs straight down from your hips. And bring one leg up towards the ceiling. Your hands can go behind your thigh or behind your calf. You're going to curl up into your chest lift again, pressing the leg that's down into the mat the entire time. So we're going to do 2 pulses on the leg that's up and switch, and 2 pulses and switch, 2 and switch, 2 and switch. And try and bring the leg closer to you with each pulse rather than letting it escape from you. So keep your legs nice and long throughout this exercise. And then take your hands behind your head if you want to try another challenge. And keep your legs nice and long throughout this. The next one, we're going to add a 3rd challenge, switching which side we're rotating our spine to throughout the exercise. 2 more sets. 1, and 2, 2. Lick that leg long as you bring it back down and reach back out. Again. Glue your legs together, arms straight above you towards the opposite wall. Lift your arms to the ceiling, nod your head, and roll up to a seated position. We're going to go into some rolling, so really make sure that the space behind you is clear. Don't want you to hit your head or anything. So sit nice and tall with your legs in. I want you to press your shins into your hands into your shins. And from there, you're going to scoop your lower spine so that you rock back a bit on to your lower spine. Then you're going to lift one leg up and the other and squeeze them tight together. Your elbows are not going to be out, they're going to be squeezing into your legs. You're going to take an inhale, and on your exhale, you're going to rock back and inhale back to the top. Trying not to touch your feet to the ground at the top. And trying to keep that C curve in the spine that you've created at the beginning throughout this exercise. Without losing your head or your chest. You want to stay proud about the work you're doing, but you don't want to lose the purpose. Let's do 2 more like this. Really try and keep your heels towards your bottom the entire time. On the last one, you can release your legs, scoot back, and take your legs the width of your mat. So it's okay, you can have your legs a little bit bent if you need to. And I want you to sit nice and tall, your arms in front of you. And we're going to bend the head down, articulate through each vertebra of the spine, reaching long, not letting that lower spine move forward until the very last moment. Taking an inhale at the bottom and exhaling all the way back up. Nodding the chin to the chest, rolling through the upper spine, reaching long, that lower spine, pulling you backwards, your belly button into your spine. Taking a big inhale and rolling all the way back up to seated. Inhale, chin to chest. Think of going up to go over, like there's a big beach ball or a big cactus in front of you that you're trying to avoid. Inhale here and exhale, continuing to avoid whatever that object is that you imagined a moment ago. On the next one, we're going to bend the head up and over our cactus. At the bottom, you're going to put your fingers inside of your ankles, and then I want you to flatten your back, trying to stay as low as you can while maintaining a flat back. I want you in your flat back. I want you to lift your arms to be parallel with your ears. And we're going to do some pulses backwards with the arms, keeping the energy that you have going through your heels and through your spine in this position. So we pulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and reach the arms out to go back to where they were. Pull the lower spine back as you start to stack your spine back up nice and tall. From here, I want you to bring your legs back together. Really, this one, make sure that there's room behind you because we're going to do some rollovers. So, sitting nice and tall, legs glued together, arms in front of us. We're going to roll down, keeping our legs on the ground as much as possible. I'm sticking to the mat. You might be 2 at this point. And then the arms go, press into the ground. You take one leg to tabletop, and then the other. I want you to exhale your legs to 60 degrees. Inhale to the ceiling. And on your exhale, you're going to push your arms into the ground as your stomach scoops to lift your legs up and over your body. Flex your feet. Open your legs a bit. Tap down towards the ground without losing your spine and roll all the way down through your spine, taking your legs back to 60 degrees. Inhaling to the top, exhaling to scoop the spine, letting your arms help you get up and over. Flex your feet, open your legs, touch down, and roll, controlled through each vertebra of the spine. And back to 60. Up to the ceiling. Engage your abs. Up and over. Flex your feet. Open your legs, tap down, and roll all the way back down. Let's do one more like that. Lift your legs to the ceiling. Press your arms into the ground to help you scoop your abdominals up. Flex your feet. Open the legs. Tap down and roll all the way through your spine. Back to 60 degrees. Bend your legs in. We take one leg to the ground and then the other. So we're going to go into some bridging from here. So keep your arms pressing into the ground, making sure you can look to check whether your heels are in line with your hips. Knees towards the ceiling, and then back down. You start in your neutral spine, and then you get rid of that space to lift your legs up. Sorry, your hips up. and just pulls at the top. I want you to get as much of a scoop as you can. So if you need to lower about an inch, scoop your tailbone more towards you. Keep that same scoop as you lift back up. Feeling like your heels are pressing into the ground and dragging towards your sit bones. So lift one leg without losing that connection. From there, we're just going to tap it out and down and back up. Feeling like you're hinging at the hips rather than at the knee. Eight, 9, and 10. Bring it back up, place that leg back down, and readjust yourself. Get a better scoop. I know I always lose my scoop in this one, so you want to try and maintain it, but if you lose it between, catch it before you go into the next one. And then lift the other leg back up and do the same hinging. Really thinking of engaging the hamstring of the supporting leg, keeping the hips at the same height, and moving from the hip. 8, 9, and 10. Back up, lower it down, scoop it all the way back up. And we're gonna roll down to give a bit of break for those hamstrings. So you can take a little shake out if you need it. We're gonna come right back to that starting position, and we're gonna roll all the way back up. Remembering to set yourself up with your scoop, your knees facing the ceiling, your heels dragging towards your bottom and pressing into the ground. Take one leg up, this time point it towards the ceiling, nice and long, and we're going to throw it away from you and flex back up. Throw it away and flex back up. Throw it away and flex back up. Keeping that stability in your hips. 2 more. Last one. Bend the knee, put the foot down, readjust your hips, pressing into the ground with your arms and with your legs. Take the other foot up to tabletop, lift it straight towards the ceiling and throw it away and flex back up. Away and flex back up. Away and flex back up. Trying to keep your hips stable. One side might be a bit wobblier than the other, and that's okay. It's also okay if it's completely the same, though I would be surprised. Don't touch the ground. I don't know why I did that. Bend your knee in, put the foot on the ground, scoop back up, and roll down through your vertebra. Okay. Take those legs out straight, nice and glued together, arms back above our head. Take a big inhale and an exhale. On your next inhale, lift your arms, lift your head, and curl all the way up to seated position. I want you to bring your legs in, hands go in front of you, and then you can jump or step out to a plank position. We're going to do a few push-ups here. So start by thinking about your head pressing into the ceiling, your hands pressing into the ground. Really try to find that nice long line from your heels all the way through the top of your head. And when we do our push-up, we're going to have our elbows come in towards our waist. So we're going to do 3. Really focusing on maintaining the length of the spine. And on the 3rd one, you push your hips back up towards the ceiling and walk back. 1, 2, 3. Roll up through your spine, palms facing each other. Inhale at the top and exhale, nodding the chin down, rolling through the spine, then walking the hands out. 1, 2, 3, and 3 push-ups again. 2, 3, and hips back. Walk 1, 2, 3, palms face each other as you roll up. Big inhale at the top and exhale all the way back down. 1, 2, 3. Do 3 push-ups. 2, 3. Push your hips back and walk your hands back and roll all the way up and roll down. Walk your hands out 3 times. Elbows in. Elbows in again. Last push up, elbows in again. Hips back and walk back 3. Roll all the way up. Inhale at the top and exhale down. 3 steps forward. We're going to go into some front supports here. So, keeping your nice plank line, your head in the same line as your heels, and everything in between on that same line. From there, I want you to glide your one knee in and back out. It'll scrape along the ground, but there won't be weight on it. So just alternate which leg is scraping, keeping your arms engaged, the scapula nice and wide. We're going to do 1 more on each side. And I need a break, so we're going to drop the knees and come to a rest pose for half a second. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Back up to your hands and knees. Going right back to that plank position. Point one leg behind you, 1 foot behind you. We're going to lift it in a straight line, like we're drawing an arc behind us. Maintaining the length of the body throughout this exercise. 9 and 10. Put it down, switch to the other leg. 1, long leg, long arms, long spine. Nine and 10. Now we can bend the knees and jump forward to sit down. Oh. I'm going to go into the saw now. So sit with your legs the width of the mat, sitting nice and tall. We're going to start with our arms out beside of us. Going to rotate to one side. Have your front arm go outside the leg. Sit up, bring your arms to an L. Open your arm and twist back to the center. And to the other side. Hand outside of the foot. Roll back up to an L. Open both arms and back to the center. Up to the other side. Hand outside of the foot. Up to an L shape, sitting nice and tall. Open the other arm and back to center. Thinking that you're pushing down with your spine and pushing up with your spine. You're going in 2 directions. You go so much that you bend over, up. Energy in both directions. Energy through your legs, energy through your arms. Lifting up and around, up to go over. Arms and the body pull you back up. Out and center, and twist around, keeping even weight on your sit bones throughout this exercise, trying to get more space in the vertebra, between the vertebra and the spine. And we're going to do 1 more to the last side, other side down with feet, up, and I'm going to do some side work now, so just flip over to your side. And have one arm, the one that's underneath you, straight out, the other arm in front of you. The legs are glued together, and there's a probably a gap between your waist and the ground. If not, that's okay. We're gonna think about like there's a gap there. So I want you to lift your legs to hover off the ground. Engage your abdomen so that there's a nice length in the front. You feel the length in the front of your hips. So from there, I want you to think of pressing away that space under your spine, and your legs just happen to lift at the same time. So this is an exercise, the way it's done just now, for the spine. We want to get a nice lateral articulation, really trying to get that side to the ground and then to get that space back when we get to our starting position. Let's do 2 more like this. I don't know how many I did. Usual. And relax back down. So from there, I want you to bring your elbow up. Okay, I'm off of the mat, so I actually need to move my mat. We're going to do some kicks to make sure that the space over here is clear for you. So if you're down here, you bring your arm up underneath you. I want you to think of lifting out of this waist. So your spine is nice and long, and you feel like both sides of your spine are the same length. So both hands go behind their respective ears. The bottom leg stays glued to the ground, and the top one, we're gonna lift it up to hip height. So you're gonna flex forward and point back. And you wanna be able to see your elbows and your peripheral vision. And make sure that the pulse is getting your leg farther than when it started. Instead of going back down. 1 more front and 1 more back. Bring it back to the center and switch around to the other side. Really sorry, I have no idea how many I did on those. So just pause me if I do too few. Setting up, trying to have that space between your waist and the ground, hand helping you, your legs trying to squeeze together. You're gonna lift them to hover, and then press your spine into the ground to get rid of that space, and let that space reappear. And get rid of it, and let it come back. Really feeling the length in the front of the hips. Forgot to set that up, I'm sorry. Nice long legs, nice long spine. Really focusing on how your spine is moving throughout this exercise. Let's do 3 more like this. You do an even amount. I'm gonna do 3 more. And this is my last one. And I'll lower my legs down. So from there, your legs stay on the ground. And again, you check your space below you. You bring this elbow up underneath you. Have it a little bit in forward in front of your shoulder, so then it's in the right space and you aren't like falling over. That, you have your hand just touching your ear, and then the other one just touching. The bottom leg stays glued to the ground as you lift the top leg to hip height. And you flex it forward and point it back. And flex it forward and point it back. Flex it forward and point it back. Really making sure you keep feeling the length of the hip when you go to the back. I think it's 2 more in each direction. Don't sink into your elbow like I just did. Really long spine. And back down. Okay, we're gonna flip onto our stomachs. Into the middle of your mat. And I like to check to see that my legs are in line with my hips before I get started on anything where I'm facing the floor. It's interlace your hands and have them up like on where a bra strap would be. If you wear one, if you don't, just imagine. And then you're gonna let your elbows drop towards the ground, your face in whichever direction you choose. Your legs are glued together. I want you to press your pelvic bone into the ground and scoop your abdomen off of it, or have the idea of scooping off of it. And from there, I want you to lift your legs just a bit, keeping that scoop, and they're gonna stay at this height the whole time. So we're going to kick, kick, and as they extend, you extend your upper back. And then switch whichever way your head was facing on the next side. And extend, and kick, kick, out. Kick, kick, out. Make sure that when you come up, you're still looking at the ground. And that you're thinking of your spine articulating around the top vertebra, rather than dumping into your lower back. Let's do one more in each direction. And this will be my last one. Hopefully yours too. And we'll lower all the way back down. Sweep your arms up so they're in front of you. I need to scoot over again. And your arms circle in front of you. You reach out with your arms and with your legs. From here, I want you to push your pelvic bone into the ground and scoop your stomach again. I want you to feel like your arms are reaching nice and long without pulling your shoulders to your ears. And your legs are reaching nice and long without losing the scoop in your pelvis. Now, have your face hovering off of the ground. And I want you to lift one arm and the opposite leg just an inch and then lower down. And then the opposite arm and leg and lower back down. Really thinking of reaching out to go up. Just a little prep for our swimming. Out and out to come back down as well. So you reach out to go up and keep reaching out to come down. So you're thinking of making little arcs in space. If that's confusing, then don't think of that. Okay, and take a break for a second. We're gonna go into your swimming now. So you're gonna start the same way with your pelvic bone pressing into the ground, your abdominals scooped up, reaching out with all of your limbs, your head hovering off, and I want you to lift your arms and your legs off of the ground. And when you swim, think of pushing your legs and your arms behind your body. So they aren't going towards the ground. You're trying to get more back. And then we can go a little bit faster. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reach long to come all the way back down. And then I want you to bend one leg in and hold on to the ankle. And then you'll bend the other leg in and hold on to the ankle. I want you to try and have your legs together, but keep your pelvis pushing into the ground, your abdominals scooping up. And you're gonna start with your face hovering. Actually, I want you to have your legs hip width. So your feet are right above where your hip bones are. So start down, facing the ground, and push your feet into your hands. And that just happens to take your body up, and then you lower all the way back down. Push your hands into your feet, feeling like your spine is articulating around the top, and then articulate back down. Making sure that you are engaging your glutes Your knees are lifting as your feet are pressing into your hands. And you come back down. 2 more like this. Pressing up. And back down. And last one up. And back down. And then bring your arms in front of you and push back to a rest position. And breathe in this space. Breathe into the back of those ribs. Relaxing your back. And then reach out to walk your arms towards one side. And you're going to think about getting a stretch on the opposite ribs and spine. And just breathe in this position. And reach back out to come to center before you go to the opposite side. And feeling the stretch on the opposite side of the body. Reaching out to come back to center. I want you to drag yourself up so that you're in your table position. We're just going to do a few cats. So scoop your lower spine in towards you. Flatten back to your flat back. And then have your upper spine round up. Your chest shining towards the wall in front of you. Back to your neutral spine. Pull your spine in and up. Out to your neutral spine. The upper spine bends back. And one more lower spine bending. Out to your back. And upper spine. And back up. And we're gonna stand up, just do little balances. So stand nice and tall. Just gonna do bend and straighten, bend and straighten. And we're going to elevate, lifting your heels and lowering your heels and lifting your heels. And lowering back down, bending, straightening your legs, bending, straightening your legs. Just thinking of having a nice long spine throughout this exercise. Go up, gonna try and lift one side, and then the other. Come back to center, take your arms up, around, lower down. Again, take your arms up, this time opening your chest. Up and around. Up, up, and around. I'm gonna do a roll down just to see what difference we can see. Inhale at the bottom, your last big one. And exhale your way all the way back up. And we're done. Thank you very much.